Okay guys, so today we're back with a whopper of a Piggy video. Minitoon may have just actually leaked or hinted at the ending cutscene for Piggy Book 2 Chapter 9, the Doveport chapter, the one coming next. He may have actually just gave a huge hint about the ending and where the story is going to be going, and we're going to be talking about it right now in this video. Now, first off, I just want to go ahead and get the big elephant right out of the room because I know a lot of people are going to be asking this in the comments. When is the next chapter coming out? When is Chapter 9 going to be coming out? And the answer is in about 2 weeks. This weekend, we're going to be getting a lore update for Piggy. Next weekend, we're going to be getting a build mode update for Piggy, and then the weekend after that should be Chapter 9. But even though it is a little bit away, we do have some information on the ending. So all this goes back to Book 2, Chapter 4, The Safe Place. It's been a few months since this chapter came out, and honestly, it's not one of my favorite chapters, but it was a pretty big chapter in terms of story, especially when it comes down to the notes, because this chapter, The Safe Place, was actually the first chapter to introduce the insolence and introduce Mr. Stitchy. In fact, the first time we actually hear about it is when Pony, this is a random thing that Pony just randomly says sometimes when playing through the map, he says this here. He talks about hearing whispering in his head and talks about the insolence and how sometimes he can't really remember parts of his day, like something is taking him over. And of course, at the time, we didn't really know much about it, but now things are different. We know all about the insolence and all about Mr. Stitchy. Now, if you guys remember, the first Eye of Insolence that we actually saw was on this map. Right at the bottom of the staircase, underneath this little thingy is Eye of Insolence on the wall. And right underneath the Eye of Insolence is a note. And this note is encrypted, meaning you can't read it. I'll put it up on the screen. Now, it took a little bit for people to actually solve this, but people did, in fact, solve this. And it says, "The insolence watches thy crimes, those that will haunt thou for lifetimes." Pretty creepy. Now, of course, now we know who and what the insolence is, so this isn't too crazy of a note nowadays, but a lot of people actually forgot about the other thing in this chapter. There's actually another encrypted note in this chapter that a lot of people have forgotten about because it's not actually in the chapter. It's actually on Minitoon's Twitter. On December 10th, 2020, Minitoon tweeted this out here. Now, I'm not going to attempt to read that because, again, this is an encrypted message, and it took a while to solve. In fact, Minitoon actually tweeted out later today and said, "I don't think anyone solved it yet." Now, shout out to Piggy Discussions because I just remembered this because, again, I totally forgot that Minitoon tweeted this out, and this actually says, decrypted, it says, "The eye doth watch from the underneath. The eye doth seek those who are meek." Again, a really weird message, but an actual message because Minitoon tweeted right below that, and someone asked, "Is this a sneak peek of a Piggy update?" And well, Minitoon said most probably. It definitely is. Now, looking at the encrypted tweet here, the eye does watch. Well, we know the eye is the Eye of Insolence, but there's actually something really interesting about this. There's actually a word here, the underneath, that is capitalized. Minitoon has actually capitalized the word the underneath. Now, I'm sure I don't need to give you a lesson on, pronunciation and capitalization and nouns and pronouns and all of that. Obviously, whenever a noun is capitalized, it means that it is a proper noun, meaning it is the name of a person, place, or thing. In this case, a person or a place. Like, for example, in the encrypted note down in the bottom of the map, the insolence is capitalized because the insolence is a proper noun. It's the name of a person, place, or thing. So the question is, and I can't believe we really overlooked this at the time, but the question is, why is the underneath capitalized? Is this actually the name of a person? Probably not, but is it the name of a place? The underneath. The eye watches from the underneath. Now, what's interesting here is that after this was tweeted out, Minitoon actually responded on both of his accounts and kind of just played coy. He kind of just, played around, but obviously he responded, which means this is actually something interesting that we should be looking at. Now, you might be wondering how this ties into Chapter 9. Well, Minitoon actually popped up on a Piggy show, a Piggy news show the other day that I didn't even know was a thing because apparently the show takes place at 3 a.m. in the morning. But anyway, he was actually not a contestant, but I guess a guest on a Piggy news show the other day. And on that news show, they straight up asked him, give 3 words that describe the next chapter. And I'll put the picture up on the screen. There's Minitoon right there. And he said, land, fire, and under. Now, of course, we're getting off the boat. We're going on land. So I think that, that pretty much explains the land tweet. And then, of course, the fire part of the tweet probably refers to the giant explosions taking place above what is presumably Doveport. We can see that at the end of the cutscene of Chapter 8. great. And then he also says under. Now, under could simply mean underground, but if we're getting on land and going in the Doveport and it takes place in Doveport, then it probably doesn't take place underground unless Doveport is an underground city, which I mean, I guess it could be, but I've never personally seen an underground city before, especially an underground port. That would be kind of strange. So going back to the note that says the underneath, maybe this is actually the chapter that we find out officially about Mr. Stitchy. The characters in the story find out about Mr. Stitchy, and they find out about the underneath, which is where the insolence is from and where they watch everybody from. The underneath, whatever in the world that is. Maybe it's like another dimension, like, you know, maybe like in Stranger Things, you've got the upside down. Maybe it's like something like that. Or maybe it's some sort of like underworld dimension, kind of like in Greek mythology. Who knows? But I found all of this interesting, especially since Minitoon commented on that Twitter post and was like, I wonder what this is. Let me know what you guys think about all this down below in the comment section. Again, huge shout out to Piggy Discussions for bringing this back up. And of course, if you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, red button underneath the video. That way you'll be up to date on all the latest Piggy news, theories, and updates. And of course, keep using star code RealCreep when you're buying your Roblox and Roblox Premium, because that allows me to buy like thousands and thousands of dollars worth of Robux codes to give out to you guys. So thank you very much for that. Hope you guys have a great day though, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!